Agape love is not a feeling. It is not butterflies, infatuation, or even the affection we feel for those who are kind to us. Agape is the highest form of love, divine, unselfish, unconditional, and healing. It is the love that flows from the heart of God and enters the wounds of the world not to judge but to redeem. This love does not wait to be earned. It does not retreat in the face of pain. It stays. It heals. At the core of agape is the radical act of choosing to love, not because someone deserves it, but because they need it, because we have received it, because love is the only power that truly changes anything. The healing power of agape is not found in a flash of emotion, but in the long, patient work of mercy. It is not loud, yet it is stronger than hatred, fear, or revenge. Agape heals because it sees rightly. It does not label the sinner as worthless. It sees the beloved child of God beneath the scars. It looks at trauma and says, "You are not defined by what has broken you." Agape does not erase pain, but it refuses to let pain have the final word. It steps into suffering with compassion and sits with it until peace begins to breathe again. In the life of Jesus, we see agape embodied. He touched the leper, defended the outcast, forgave the executioner, and fed the betrayer. There was no limit to his love, and that love did not remove suffering. It transfigured it. By loving unto death, Christ healed humanity. He showed us that love is not the absence of pain, but the presence of God in the midst of it. When we love with agape, we participate in this divine healing. We become instruments of mercy. We become reminders to the hurting that they are not alone, that they are still worthy, that they are still seen. In a world starved of compassion, agape is a balm. Agape is also healing for the one who gives it. It unshackles us from bitterness. It breaks the chains of judgment. When we forgive, when we choose patience, when we extend kindness in the face of rejection, we are freed. Agape clears the debris from our hearts. It makes room for joy, not happiness dependent on circumstances, but joy rooted in truth, that we are loved and that loving is our mission. In families, agape mends what anger has torn. In marriages, it restores what time and tension have worn thin. In communities, it bridges divisions and teaches us how to belong to one another. In the church, agape is the sign by which the world will know we are Christ's. Agape heals through presence. Sometimes all we can offer is our nearness. The ministry of presence, of sitting beside someone who is grieving, confused, angry, or afraid, is no small thing. It is one of the most powerful forms of healing. Because agape does not fix, it accompanies. It says, "I will not leave you." We often think healing must be dramatic or fast, but agape is slow. It is the mother who shows up every day, the friend who answers at 2 a.m., the teacher who sees potential when others see failure, the priest who listens without judgment, the stranger who smiles. Small, consistent acts of love stitch together what has been torn. Agape requires humility. It recognizes our limits, and yet it moves us to act anyway. It teaches us that we do not need to be perfect to love. We just need to be willing to stay, to listen, to show up, to speak truth in love, to forgive without conditions, to hold space for brokenness without being broken ourselves. The saints lived agape. St. Francis embraced the leper. St. Thérèse of Lisieux offered her hidden sufferings as a gift of love. St. Josephine Bakhita forgave those who enslaved her and became a sister of charity. St. John Paul II forgave the man who tried to kill him. These were not acts of human strength. They were responses to divine grace. Agape also has a sacramental dimension. In the Eucharist, we encounter the healing presence of Christ's love. His body, broken for us, becomes our strength. His blood, poured out, becomes our peace. Every Mass is a celebration of agape, a reminder that love heals because God is love. Psychologically, agape interrupts cycles of trauma. It creates safe relationships where shame loses its grip. It fosters resilience. It nurtures trust. Agape parenting, agape leadership, agape friendship. These heal us not by demanding change, but by loving us into it. It sees the whole person, not just their pain. Spiritually, agape reminds us who we are, loved, chosen, redeemed. It quiets the lies of worthlessness and fear. It lifts the head of the discouraged and says, "You are not alone. You are not beyond repair." The cross is proof. The resurrection is promise. To walk in agape is to live as a healer. Not with answers, but with love. Not with perfection, but with presence. Not with power, but with peace. The world does not need more critics. It needs lovers, lovers of truth, of mercy, of people. If you are hurting, seek agape, in God, in others, in quiet prayer. If you are strong, offer agape, through listening, through sacrifice, through faithfulness. In this divine exchange, healing flows, and as we heal, the world begins to heal with us.